Hey guys, Dylan here at Pat's Tackle World again. Today I thought I'd touch base on a knot that's become quite popular in the fishing world right now, which is the FG knot. There's so many different ways on how to tie the FG knot. Today I'm going to go through the way I tie it and the way I finish it. So hopefully you guys can get out there and learn how to tie this one and give it a go and try it in your own fishing yourselves. So first of all, what you need is a monofilament leader, a nice braided line, pair of braid snips, and I also use a lighter in the finish of my one, so a lighter doesn't go astray either. To start off the knot, all we're going to do is we're going to wrap over the top with the braid over the top of the mono leader, and then from there all you're doing is crisscrossing. Leave yourself about a 15 centimeter tag so it gives yourself plenty to work with. And then from there, all you're doing is actually just going to be crisscrossing back and forth. So then flip it over, and then cross, and flip it over. Now we're going to repeat that probably around 5 or 7 times first off. So we're just going to keep going through that there. Hopefully I'm not doing it too quickly so you can see it quite well still. But in the fishing, when you're out on the water and you're fishing, the aim of the game is to try and get these done obviously as quick as you can. I know there is faster ways to do it, but this is the most effective way I've found to do it. So we've done a few wraps there now, and we're getting like a cross pattern like that. If you have a close look, you're actually getting even like a diamond shape. All you want to do is just lubricate the knot, and then pulling with your teeth on the monofilament and braid wrapped around your finger. Just pull down nice and firm, and that's where your FG knot will start. So it's started to grip on now, and basically from there we're just repeating that process anywhere up to about 30 times depending on the style of fishing that you're doing. I found with lighter lines I like to do it a lot more, and then with heavier lines I'm happy to cut it off about like 20 times. So just continuing to do that now. Back and forth, back and forth. There is tools you can buy for tying the FG knots as well, but I personally don't use one. I'm happy to use my hands. I find it just as easy that way. So we'll just keep going through there. Just keep lubricating every time you go to pull down. So repeating that like 5 or 7 times. And as you'll see, you're starting to get a nice grip on the monofilament line now. And if you're finding your braids not starting to go clear in the middle, then really it's just not getting enough sort of grip onto the mono. So the best thing you can do with that is just cut it off and try that again. But this one here I'm quite happy with. It seems to be going quite nicely. So this is 65 pound braid that I'm using at the moment. And a 100 pound monofilament leader, just so you can see it nice and clearly. I tie this FG knot right down to like 6 pound braids and 10 pound leaders. And the advantage of using this knot is it just slips through the guides so perfectly when throwing heavier lures or using like micro guides on a lot of your rods that you buy today. So I'm just gonna keep going through here. Always make sure to keep lubricating, so when it bites down you don't get any like fray or anything like that. So starting to form quite a nice little knot there now. As what we'll do is we'll just keep continuing on. I probably won't do it 30 times for the video purpose, but I will show you how I finish it. The finish that I use is a risotto finish. That I just learned from watching YouTube videos also. But what I've found with the risotto finish is it seems to be a lot better than a lot of other finishes, such as like your half hitch style. The reason why is the half hitch, if it bounces against your guides back and forth with throwing large lures, example like stick baits and poppers, then if it's bouncing back and forth through your guides, it seems to take a knock on it, and you'll find your half hitches will undo. Whereas this risotto, I've been tying it for a fair while now, and I've never had one fail. So that's a pretty good strike rate, I reckon. From there, all you need to do is you lay, so you've got your tag end out wide, and then your main line, lay that flat against the side of your monofilament leader, and then wrap around and round. So all we're doing is so I'm just going to pull that back out and we'll show you that again. All we're doing is just wrap around both lines like that, and then repeat that about 5 or 6 times. And then all you end up with is something like that. So can you see the tag end just hanging along the edge there like that? All we're doing is just holding that with our left hand. And then now we're going to start unwrapping this knot that we've just tied. So go in the opposite direction to what you've just done. And we're going to unwrap it now nice and tight, as close as we can, back to the actual FG that we've tied. From there, we've unraveled it, so it's like just left us with a loop and then your main line and your monofilament hanging out the end. Your tag end will be just here. All you do is just give it a nice pull on the end of the tag line with your teeth, and we'll pull that through, creating a nice little finish on the end there. Just pull that one tight as you can with your hands. Probably shouldn't try to use your teeth too much in these knots, but it's just the way that I've learned, so it's quite easy for me to do it that way. Give it a pull on both of your braids, and then main line and leader. Nice pull on that. Actually pull down nice and tight. And if you have a look, try and zoom in on this one, see if we can get a close look. You've actually tightened it all along there like a Chinese finger strap sort of style, and then you've got your nice neat finish on the end. Your advantage is your tag end is actually away from the end, whereas with your half hitches, it's right up close to the end. So if this bumping up against your guides, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for a day's fishing, especially in a situation like on the reef with quite heavy leaders, chasing species like GTs, Spanish mackerel, even in close like your coral trout, and a lot of guys are even using these on the barramundi and stuff as well. So I'll just show you now how we're gonna finish it off. So grab your scissors. Your braid end, it is quite soft, so you don't have to cut them too short. I usually leave myself about sort of a few mil anyway, just so you got yourself a little bit there so you can allow for any slippage or anything like that. But because it's so soft, it just bounces back and forth through your guides anyway. The mono end is the one that you've got to make sure that you're gonna, or the leader end is the one that you've got to make sure you're gonna trim nice and close. So just pull your main line back out of the way. And then all we're gonna do is just snip that one with only about a mil hanging out the end. I don't know if you can see that, guys, but there's only a tiny little bit hanging out the end there. Just grab your lighter and being careful not to melt your braid, just a little burn on the end there, and that gives you a nice neat FG knot. So that's 65 pound braid to 100 pound leader, and that's a confident knot for casting any of your sick baits and poppers on the reef, but as well as that, just any style of barra fishing. So yeah, you can use it just about any style, whatever you like. So yeah, if you didn't quite get that one, come in the shop. I'm happy to show you guys, but hopefully, yeah, you can have a go and see if you can tie that one yourself. But it's, yeah, definitely the most effective knot in fishing right now. Thanks, guys. Cheers. We'll see you down at the shop.